Well, hi, this is Jay Arthur. Welcome to Stacking and Restacking using ChartSmartXL. So sometimes we have data that's maybe oriented vertically like this, and we'd like to get a link so we can paste that link of that data into some other particular device. So you can go to QI Macros Paste Link, click on Paste Link, and it will actually go ahead and create your data, and it'll create the formulas up here so that it'll put that data in correctly. If you have blanks, Microsoft PasteLink will usually take your data and turn it into a 0 instead of a blank if it's blank. You can also take your data and select it horizontally, and we have a PasteLink transpose, which will take that horizontal data and paste it into a vertical format. This makes it much easier to paste your data into a performance chart template. Now, we can also have data that looks like this, where we have columns, and we'd like to get that all into a single column. Well, you can cut and paste, but if you take and restack columns, and you can say, I just want one column of data, it'll take all of that data and paste it into a single column using the labels that are in there. So that makes it pretty easy to take your data and reorganize it. So we can also take data that's a single column like this, and we can do stacking or restacking. And this will take any size of table and turn it into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, whatever many columns you want. In this case I said 2, so here's the first set of 15 and the second set of 15. Now we can also unstack data by label. So before we stacked columns, but now let's try unstacking that same data by label. And it'll take that data and turn it into the data we had originally, which is split out. So that's another way to unstack things. Unstacking by subgroup is much like using stack or restack. So we can take a single column of data and say unstack by subgroup. So sometimes in manufacturing, it puts out a single column of data and we want to regroup that into groups of 5. We just say unstack by groups of 5. Now we can also take things that look like this, where we have the size of customer, customer type. Maybe we want to make those all into one single label. So if we select that data, we can choose unstack by multi-label, and it'll take all of that and turn it into a single column for each one of those groups of 3 labels. So that's a nice way to gather data together. And sometimes we have a matrix like this one, where we have regions, foam, scent, color, and so on. And what we'd like to do is take all of that and unstack that matrix to a list. So we want to take all of that and put it into a single column. So here you can see it takes region 1, foam, 6.3. Foam 1, 4.4. So it takes all of that and puts it into a single column. So these are different ways to start to group your data. Different ways to stack and unstack your data into a useful format that can then be charted, analyzed, and so on using ChartSmartXL.